Hey there! In this video, we're looking at another example subtracting two rational expressions. And this example is a little more complicated because what we have in the denominator of each expression is a polynomial, more than one term. Before we can subtract these expressions, we need them to have a common denominator. But right now these denominators look very different because we haven't broken them up into factors. So the first step that we should do here is factor each expression that we have in the denominator. So let's start with this expression on the top left. This is a trinomial with coefficients 1, -5, and -14. So we can break this up into two factors if we're able to find a pair of numbers that will multiply to equal -14 and add together to equal -5. We can use the numbers -7 and +2 to accomplish that. So that means that another way we could rewrite this denominator is k minus 7 times k plus 2. And that's going to make it easier in just a moment when we're trying to find a common denominator with this expression. So now let's look at how we can factor this 6k plus 12. These two terms have a common factor. We could divide 6k by 6, and we can also divide 12 by 6. So if we factor that 6 out of each of those terms, we're left with k plus 2. 6k divided by 6 is k, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we've just factored the denominator of each expression, giving us these sets of factors. Now let's continue this problem on the next page so we've got a little bit more space to work. Here is our rational expressions rewritten now with those factors that we found in the previous step. So now to create the common denominator, we need to multiply each expression by factors that it is missing from the denominator of the other. So let's start over here with our k plus 2, k minus 7. We can see that the denominator on the right already has k plus 2 in it, but the denominator on the right also has a factor of 6 that this denominator is missing. So we can multiply 6 times the numerator and denominator of this fraction on the left to create that common denominator. When we do that, our denominator will become 6 times k plus 2 times k minus 7. And when we multiply this numerator, since we're multiplying 6 times a polynomial with more than one term, we need to distribute 6 times k is 6k, and 6 times 3 is 18. Now we need to make the denominator on the right look like what we have on the left. So the denominator on the left already has 6k plus 2, just like we have on the right, but we're missing that factor k minus 7. So let's multiply the denominator by k minus 7, and we can also multiply the numerator by k minus 7. Once again, we're multiplying with a polynomial, so we need to distribute 5 times k gives us 5k, and 5 times -7 gives us -35. And now we have a common denominator of 6 times k plus 2 times k minus 7. Now that these denominators match up, we're ready to complete this problem by subtracting the terms in the numerators. Remember that this negative sign is something that needs to be distributed to both of the terms in this numerator. So this negative times 5k is going to become -5k, and negative times -35 gives us +35. So we can rewrite our second rational expression as negative 5k plus 35 all over our common denominator. And now we're ready to combine the like terms from our other numerator. 6k and negative 5k, when we combine those together, gives us 1k, or just k, and positive 18 plus 35 gives us 53. So 35 plus 10 would be 45, plus another 8 gives us 53. And we still have that same common denominator, 6 times k plus 2 times k minus 7.